Hello everyone, and today we will not be looking at Byzantium. We will actually be looking at the Inca. So here is a guide on how to play the Inca in 1.2.8. So we can go, that's my game by the way. We can go start up a new game. This is gonna be for Cusco. You could also play any other Incan minor, but Cusco is the easiest because of their central position and their godlike starting ruler and heir. They were also the ones to form them historically, and as you can see, I'm running a mod. I can't see at all what's that could be changing, but it won't be affecting the Inca. Here you go. So when you start off, you're going to want to look at who you can ally. So almost always, you can almost always ally Packajas and Chalka, and who you can ally up here you varies somewhat, but you can almost always ally Ichma. So you're going to want to start off by picking your rivals. I personally will rival both Wonka and Kola. Now, what you're going to want to do is you can start fabricating a claim on both, and ally either one or both of these guys, and look at who Ichma has rivaled. If they do not rival Wonka, then do not ally them, because they will not want to join your war. You can look at their attitude. So this is hostile, so they actually will want to join even though they don't rival, but unless it's hostile or rival, don't ally them. Same thing goes for Packajas and Joka. They are usually both hostile to Kala though, so you should usually ally them. You'll get a nice event at the beginning. So I'm going to proceed to ally all three of these guys. Now, when you declare war, you can promise land, but personally what I try to do is look at who they're allied with. If they are only allied to Cal Chukui, I will declare the war. Actually, we can just keep this game on pause. I will declare the war just by myself. Occupy all of their land, and while their ally, if they just have one ally in the far south or north, that can't do too much damage. If they're allied to Wonka, you shouldn't do this. And I will occupy all their land. Then, once I have finished occupying all their land and am sieging their capital, also your general is a godlike ruler, so I always use them, then call in your allies on the promise of land. You can give each of them a province that you don't actually want from Chal Akpoi anyway. And you should always pick let us create a worthy capital for these events. You can get a lot of nice permanent prestige modifiers if you always pick that option. Well, the option to give you permanent modifiers. Or just the options that makes it look like you're investing. Sometimes it won't explicitly say it will give you a modifier, you'll have to wait to get it, but it's almost always worth it. I also recommend taking both of these decisions. The extra stability cost is worth the unrest reduction. You will be getting a lot of rebels as Cusco, and the prestige is also nice. So we can now fabricate a claim. Or actually, here you go. How do I have a claim? Okay. Do I start off with a claim because I'm confused. Anyway, I'll just fabricate a claim, and I guess I can wait. If you do start off with a claim and I'm not just hallucinating, then you can declare war, like, at the start of the game. Also, make sure to build your force limit, because you will need to. That will be your main advantage early game, because your traditions include force limit. You actually have Incan ideas, so what other nations usually get when they form Inca, you have at start. Incan ideas are very good for the region. They're not I would say they're B tier. They're not amazing, but they're good. So here we go. They allied Wonka. So you could try declaring on them first without calling them in your allies, but it would be somewhat difficult. Here you go. Take the Morale of Armies mission for a slight combat advantage. You now have your leader. I actually do not recommend focusing military, because admin tech is very important. You're going to want to get to admin tech 5 ASAP to get exploration. Anyway, let's declare the war. So I'm going to set a war goal of Makaya to get taking war scores sooner. I will promise both my allies land, but I won't actually call them in. I will not make Wonka a co-belligerent. Aggressive expansion doesn't actually matter that much because there's such a limited number. And feel free to attack into mountains when you have a numerical advantage, because you both, A, have a numerical advantage, and you have a general advantage, so you will still easily win. You just need to make sure you beat their army before the Wonka comes. So put some units aside to siege their capital. Here we go. Now, we call our allies in on promise of land. Because we've already occupied the territory, they can occupy. If we call them in at the start of the war, then they could have occupied, say, Chukwuabo, or whatever. And they would not have transferred occupation. Now, because we're calling them in later, we do have occupation. You just have to be careful not to let your armies get beaten around by the Wonka too much. When you peace out, feel free to separate peace Wonka. Again, aggressive expansion does not matter. 4 ideas. Generally, exploration should always be taken first, followed by either expansion if you feel you're not under immediate threat. Expansion is usually the best for single player, or defensive if you're in multiplayer and think that Europeans will be invading your country, if they're other players. If you take expansion as your second idea, I recommend defensive as your third idea. Why defensive and not another mill idea group? Because it synchronizes well with your mountains, and the morale will help even out the playing field with technologically superior opponents. Just to go quickly over your ideas, they're good, but they're not, like, amazing. Now, on to a very important mechanic when you're playing in the New World, more specifically when you are into religion, although the Mexican natives also have this, only slightly different. You have authority that will build up over time based on your development. As you can see, I'm earning 0.6 right now. Once I conquer all of these, it will be about earning 5 or 6 per month. Right now it's only earning, not every month, per year, sorry. Right now it's earning 0.6 per year. Once it gets to 100, you can pass a reform, which gives you one of these benefits. Once you get all 5 reforms, you can reform your religion, which is required to get on an even playing field with the Europeans technology-wise. So basically, once you reform, you will get all European institutions automatically embraced, and your technology will increase to 80% of the European you reform off of. You need all religious reforms and to be bordering a European to do this. You can also get religious authority to pass reforms, 5 at a time by lowering autonomy, and you lose 5 by increasing autonomy, so you'll never want to increase autonomy. If you have the option of either having rebels by having lower autonomy, or losing authority and having higher autonomy, always pick the rebels. Rebels aren't an issue. Your manpower will regenerate, but you need to get the authority because it is a race against time to get the reforms passed before Europeans arrive, especially in multiplayer, but also in single player. Also, I forgot to do this game, but set your merchant to collect in Lima, you can set it to collect in Cuaba once you get deployed Tax C for its extra merchant range. That's about it. I hope this guide has helped you, and you can play successfully as the Inca. Just make sure for Age abilities, I recommend the top two are +1 combat bonus and Terrain of Capital, because almost everything is mountains, and extra dev when a colony is finished. I hope you have enjoyed this short guide and helps you play the Inca.